What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I am back with some more Age of Mythology action, spawning in the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Oranos. He's from the F2 clan. His name is Squash, also known as GreenSeaSquash, GSS for short. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Poseidon on his Smurf Bubez. His name is Matreiuss. The map is Blue Lagoon, and this is Shoutcast Sunday. We've had a consecutive Shoutcast Sundays here. It's been really, really good. I had one last week, and maybe the week before. I can't remember, but it's time, it's place, it's a thing, and it's fun. And everyone, if you're into it, come onto the stream Sunday at 10 o'clock. 10 p.m. GMT plus 8. Or was that 2 p.m. in the GMT times? If you can do maths, that's maths. We got two players here. Oranos player Squash is one of the strongest Age of Mythology players currently playing the game. Takes games off Magic consistently and is a pleasure to watch. I haven't seen games from him in a very, very long time, so I'm interested to see what he's learned and how he can do all that other stuff that makes him so good and why he does it so well and all the other good things. Matreiuss, on the other hand, plays a lot of the games, very, very strong player. Poseidon is his main god, so he's going full try-hard this game, not going to be throwing anything weird at him like Loki or Thor or anything like that, but going for Poseidon against Oranos. Probably going to see some standard stuff to start off. Hopefully they play a couple of games to get a bit of a series on. Standard Poseidon play is going to be getting out your early hero. It's getting a couple stables up, 2 stables up, that is, and trying to get up a second town center without taking too much damage is generally what happens. There's some variants of that where you get the town center first and you have to play even more defensive, and it can be really hard against a one town center Oranos player, put a lot of pressure onto you. And I guess you also have access to Ceasefire, so you can do some pretty crazy stuff with like 2 town center grabs. There's also options for Ares play, in there you can get out some Cyclops and then try and bash down your opponents, but it costs so much resources and it's very, very slow. And also, if they can just mass enough heroes, then your Cyclops don't really do all too much. On the other hand, Oranos, options against Poseidon are fairly limited. Generally speaking, you don't want to go for a 2 town center archaic play on this map, especially with forward gold mines. This town center doesn't really secure anything. You'd be much better off going 1 town center, going 430 classical age through Prometheus, and going for 1 military barracks, 1 counter barracks. Maybe not getting out too many Prometheans, maybe you don't really get out any, and you just want to put pressure onto your opponent. Grab a second town center as he's grabbing his second town center if he goes for the standard 2 stable or 1 stable 1 archery range play, and try and stay on top of your mana placements and making sure your population is continually growing, and then try and get to the mythic age at a very fast time. Looking at 14-15 minutes in would be the best thing, and I totally pushed the button that says overlay there. I'm so sorry. I suck. Noob streamer indeed. Thank you so much for the spam in the chat there. It's been 3 minutes and 30 seconds. My god. I legit thought I pushed it. That's why I didn't look over. I suck. Alrighty. we've got the we have walls going up. I like this. We don't normally see Oranos players utilizing walls because it's a lot of a lot of food, a lot of economy that you're sacrificing by throwing these walls up, and they don't do that much, but I guess this wall here is going to help out quite a bit because it does force the Theseus to come around, and we are seeing the mana coming up, but this Theseus is going to do a lot of damage right now. This citizen is under a lot of pain. We do have Hermes coming through, we do have Prometheus coming through. This is a super fast Hermes, going to be advancing at 4:15. That was an incredibly quick Theseus for a 4:15 advance time there. I wish I saw how he did that. Now we've got the stable up, and then we can put another stable up somewhere else. No, just the 1 stable. Maybe all he can afford at this point. Slap that next one down a little bit later. Oh, I like that he's done this. He's left 1 villager inside the manor. So now he's making Matreiuss think that all the villagers are still in this manor, but he's actually snuck out 2 villagers over onto this citizen, onto this hunt here, onto the zebra. That's going to allow him to continually get the citizens out here And then he's going to be able to get some military units over onto this location. And he can actually just drop this citizen back out over here. And these guys are going to be under siege at the moment. We've got the Centaur out. We've got Theseus here. Prometheus is not going to be able to do anything Promethean, excuse me. We do have Hippocons coming out as well. But now the military units are going to come out now for Squash. He's going to be able to get out a Valor as well. And he should be able to defend over here. Still has one idle unit in this mana. There we go. Now he's casting Valor, and does he get? Oh, he actually missed the Valor on a citizen there. A little bit unfortunate. He needs to ungarrison the villager from that mana. Does look like Mamilo instantly onto the Centaur. I like that. You want to deal as much damage as you can, and generally speaking, these term are not very accurate, at least in the early attacks. So the Centaur can get away without losing too much there. We've got the other citizens taking down the Zebra. Nice job there. Getting all of that hunt in there. We see some raids over here. Villager going to be taking out at the Oracle, but there are two Promethean offspring here, which can do a little bit to Matreiuss, but you can kind of just fight back. I'm pretty sure one Villager is stronger than one Promethean in terms of the damage, but if he just runs away, they get a lot of damage off, a lot of free damage off. So seeing a couple of Catapults coming out. I guess that's to counter those Hippocon. Don't really want to get too many of the Terma out when your opponent's going mass Hippocon. We've also got the military academies out, so I wonder how he's going to be doing this. Is he just going to go for catapults? He does need, or catapultees, I'm not sure how to say it. Need to have more of those villagers up, and that'll help. Or at least more of those villagers on the food. He's got quite a few, like 5 villagers on food, 6 villagers on food, and only like 7 villagers on food, only 1 on wood. This is kind of new. I haven't really seen much of this. How's his economy going here? Doesn't have that much wood, so he's not going to be able to get a second town center. And Matreiuss is really, really low on the population here. Only on 45 compared to the 71 of Squash. And you can see this is just basically because Squash is on top of his mana placements and he's able to just keep pumping those units, has very low resources. Even leaving a bunch of units at home just to defend against any raids coming in. Nice little attack on this top, but the wall here is going to be good enough to block him away. Those Prometheans are going to be wasting away at that wall for a very, very long time. Now Matreiuss is going to be moving forward. He's got a bunch of idle villagers, need to get back to work. Could move over onto this hunt if he so chose, but it looks like he's going to be chucking down some farms. Going onto the piggies, and that's going to be good. But Squash moving in, going to be able to get a little bit of free hits onto this onto these villagers here. Maybe even pick off 1, maybe 2. Not going to be able to get the other one. Gets 1 pick off there, loses a couple of HP, but that's really fine. Matreiuss moving out, going to be trying to probably jump onto this hunt line here, but there's not really a lot of food left over here. These villagers can move up and eat these lion and then eat the rhinoceros as well. It's totally fine. But Matreiuss deciding to return home. He does this weird stuff. I've been watching him play quite a bit recently. He does this weird stuff where he moves his army forward and then he just randomly decides to move back home, as if that makes any sense. It's like you're just kind of getting yourself out of position for no reason. If you're not going to attack, just stay at home. A lot of people try to teach idle military is bad, and it is bad if you're fighting, but if you don't want to fight, idle military is fine, man. Totally fine. More units pumping here. We're still going. Yeah, we're back to getting the Terma out. That's interesting. He's getting the town center up as well. That's actually such a super fast town center. He's sitting at 95 population. Is there a mana coming down? Yeah, he's left that last mana. It's just so efficient right now. It's just doing everything in the right order. Getting everything out super fast. And now Matreiuss is going to be slowly falling behind. He still doesn't have out an archery range. I think you do need to get archery ranges out against this. These what do these catapultes actually have? They've got 5 hack attack and 115 HP, which is more HP than the Momillo, but less attack. But just less attack, I guess. Well, it's actually quite a bit less attack, but it can just do so much damage to those Hippocon. But if you get out the Toxite as well, they've only got, what is it, like 5%? But yeah, maybe you didn't build that many. Yeah, you probably didn't build that many. 10% PS armor. They'll take a lot of damage from those archers, but they aren't any there. And we are going to be seeing a little bit of a fight here. We do have a medium hoplite. So these guys are very beefy compared to the Momillo here, but there's so many units right now. He's going to be fighting this. We do see the Shockwave, which does get a lot of hits into that one there. We do have medium Hippocon coming through. If we can get these Catapulties to jump onto the Hippocon and the Murmilla to jump onto Hoplites, it's going to be the right way to do that one there. DCS is under a little bit of attack over there, but he's going to be totally fine. We do see Hippolyta does fall, and a little bit of micro here, but definitely needs to get those units back into this fight here. We see that these Terma not doing all too much, and it looks like this fight is going to be going in the favor of Matreiuss. Even with Defender's advantage here, really well played there by Matreiuss. Takes the Shockwave, sticks with it, gets all those upgrades onto his military units, and he does manage to win that fight. But it doesn't matter all too much at this point. Has to try and take out the temple. All these units are going to be coming back in for another fight, and now we have a lot of low HP units here. So maybe this is going to finally go back into the favor of Squash here. He's going to keep attacking, still not getting the Catapulties quite onto the right units here. It's kind of the mistake of building them. They're really important. That's kind of like Peltas. If you don't have them attacking archers, it's really bad. Catapulties are not attacking Hippocon is really bad as well, but not as bad, I suppose. They're okay. And it does look like Matreiuss is going to be sitting in this position here, but the longer this kind of trade war goes on, the better it is for Squash. Sitting in 2 town centers means he's going to be able to spam villages out. His economy is going to slowly but surely get up further and further ahead of Matreiuss's, and then he's going to be able to get to the Heroic Age, which in turn will allow him to get to the Mythic Age, and Matreiuss is going to be stuck in the Classic Age. So you really have to make something of this. Luckily, there is an exposed gold mine, so if he can keep this fight happening for long enough, keep the population count below 115 or at 115, and like keep his population at a similar level, he should be able to come and sit on this gold mine and cause some havoc for Squash. Squash only got 200 gold left in this gold mine, and then he's going to be having to move into this location here. So we'll see if Squash can defend this one or not. This is kind of where it's going to all come down for Matreiuss. If he can't get this location under control, it's going to be really, really hard for him. We'll see if he does go for it or not. The lack of fighting is a little bit concerning. We do see 121 population to 89 population. Matreiuss is behind on that regard, but his army still can fight back. This is mass Murmillo here. Wouldn't be a bad idea for Squash to simply just stop production of these guys and get out medium upgrades, medium infantry. We're seeing little bits of raids onto the villages here. These Terma are going to be enough, as well as the Murmillo, to pick off this other villager over here. And that's going to be shutting down the gold mining operation over here. And we don't see any gold mines left in the main base here. They're going to have to retreat there. And now Squash is going to be in a very good position, because now he can actually go on the offensive as Matreiuss is retreating here. We are seeing that the gold mines have 2 forward locations here, which Squash can jump onto. And without any real units here, we do see that still only sitting on 2 of those military buildings. Oops. We see so much food in the bank here for Matreiuss, which is the big difference. If Matreiuss had gold, he could have gone Heroic Age himself and then got out Nemean Lions. And then he'd be able to fight this really, really nicely. But it does look like Squash is really asking for this fight here. And it may not go in the favor of him, even though he's kind of got better units, or like more units, just because he doesn't have good units in terms of the hoplites being so much stronger. They've also got extra armor on the Pierce as well, but there's not really any Pierce units there, but that's fine. But he's going to be able to secure this gold mine, and we are seeing a 3rd town center now coming up for Squash, and even more fighting shall be coming in very, very soon. Looks like he's going to be moving in, and he actually may be able to slow down this town center. But I think potentially it would be a better idea for Matreiuss maybe to get some tech here at this point. I don't think he can really win this fight here. It looks like he's just going to be going for the villager. Just a little bit of delay tactics here. We do see some Foxtay are coming out. Want to force out those Terma. That's why these are coming out. We do see that the citizen does manage to stay alive, and we are seeing a little bit of attacking on this town center. It's really not going to slow it down all too much, and it looks like the army of Matreiuss is really hurting here, sitting at 77 population to 130 population, and surely we're going to be seeing some upgrades coming in. Again, you can actually cancel auto queue if you so choose. If you so choose to cancel auto queue, it means you get more resources in the bank. You can see, we do have a lot of food in the bank, but maybe Squash is just saving that for Heroic Age. Yeah, get the 3rd town center up, go Heroic Age, build villages for the rest of your population. You have an extra 15 population to play with when you get this town center. Actually, you're probably on max civilians already. And we're seeing Hyperion come through. No surprise there. Hyperion is a very, very strong god nowadays. Because it basically guarantees you a conversion of a myth unit. It's basically on the level of Bolt in that regard. And then also it converts like three or four military units as well, which is absolutely bonkers in terms of what it can do. That being said, we do have access to Aphrodite, and we do see Matreiuss going through Aphrodite a little bit behind what Squash has got. So he's behind on tech and he's behind on economy, which is not what you want to see. He's also behind on population. This is just part of what makes Squash so good, is how efficient he is able to play. And he's just able to do everything really, really quickly and in the right order, which is going to hurt Matreiuss because he's not been able to do the same. And he needs to get a second town center at some point. Maybe he can simply go straight to the Mythic Age, but I have this feeling that Squash is going to have, he's going to have the food and the gold to advance straight to the Mythic Age if he so chooses, or simply just throw down a palace on top of this location would be an option as well. But I have a feeling Mythic Age is on this way. We've got Market coming down, and that's going to be an 18-minute. Also, Mythic 1730 even, if you can get the Market up. What do we got? Yep. Okay, 1730. So it's a little bit late because of all the fighting that's been going on in the trades. But this strategy from Squash is super standard. We're seeing him move in as the army of Poseidon is coming through. We see Curse coming down, which is going to significantly hurt this army of Squash. But Squash is going to be pushing through here as best as he can. And not only that, that Curse does mean that Squash can actually reproduce military units back in his base and maybe even contest this attack that's coming on over here. We do have a 2,100 HP town center here, which we may be able to get to take down here, as all of these units are going onto the villages of Matreiuss here. He's going to be losing so many villages. Could just run through this wall and then create a bit of chaos here for these Miller, but all these units are going to be dying. Looks like this town center with the heavy hoplite is going to be getting taken down as well. We've got some of those Toxtay over here. Bunch of citizens getting thrown out of that location. Then we've got this Satya coming in. A bunch of units for Squash going to be in here as well. And the Toxtay trying to focus down these villages, but we do see Shockwave getting cast. And it looks like the units have finally been taken care of up here for Matreiuss. But Matreiuss going to be getting out of here. He does not manage to get the town center, but he does manage to stop the pain on his own gold mine here. But if we look at the economy for Matreiuss, 97 population to 134 population. So Squash definitely in the lead here. Hecate is almost out, 99%. Here we go. Hecate does come through. Does he have line of sight on his opponent's base? He does not have any line of sight. We do see Nemean lines coming through, but with Atlanta here, you should definitely always think about, as just before you hit that heroic gauge, send a unit into your opponent's base just to get that Tartarian gate down there as soon as possible. Chaos does come down, and it does, see, how good is this? It converts the Nemean line basically onto your team. If your opponent's attacking something that you don't have units to defend, just Chaos. Kind of forces you to play a little bit differently and make sure that whenever you're fighting your opponent, when they have Hyperion, you can you have to fight them when their army is there. Otherwise, it's basically another unit you have to take down, which is basically Traitor. Tartarian Gate does come down over here, and that's a lot of militia that we can help out. We do see the Lampade does come through here, but the village is going to be trying to take this one down. So generally, you want to move all of these guys onto here, send the heroes over in order to take out the Tartarian spawn. And these villages, there's going to be a couple of kills here, but it's not actually going to be that bad. But there's going to be so many units running in over here, and they can actually make life very, very difficult right now for Matreiuss. And he's actually going to be getting Fanatics out as well, moving Citizen forward, maybe going to be able to throw down a palace, but he could move over and just take down or take control of the 4th town center here. Or this 3rd town center of Matreiuss could be fine. But he's just content with moving and trying to take off as many of these units as he possibly can. Hippolyta taking a lot of damage there. Now the village is going to be under siege as well. We are going to be moving in with the heavy hoplites. We're going to be trying to take down all these guys. And they actually do quite a bit. If you can get the hoplite onto the Toxtay or the medium or the Arcus, they do actually win the fight, even though they're a counter unit. Hoplite are such strong units, but if they can't get onto the opponent's units, like they kind of don't win, if that makes sense. If they have to like run at the Arcus or the Toxtay, the Arcus do come out in front. But if they basically start on top of the Arcus, they can kind of win the fight. Really little known facts there. You see Atlanta does come in, but no micro on that Atlanta. Atlanta's one of the few units of Poseidon which can kind of consistently dodge archers. We do have 5.5 speed on Hippocons because of, well, he doesn't actually have anything there, so he can dodge with that. But Atlanta's got 6 speed, I think, so that's always good. Seeing more units getting picked off here. I like this Arcus ball. Are we seeing like a Titan Age soon? No, Squash is just spamming units. He just got fortified town centers as well. Fanatics and medium Arcus are the option. Does this only give you 100% damage versus... Oh, it gives you 100% damage versus infantry and cavalry. Okay. So it's every single infantry unit, which makes them slightly better than Myrmidon, right? Anyways, Matreiuss does tap out. GG. Well played there by Squash. Taking that game very, very convincingly. I think Matreiuss was in it for a while, but I think something went off on his economy. He could not get that second town center at the 9-minute mark when he should have been able to grab it. That was the big problem there. If you don't get those town centers going, you fall behind on economy. If you fall behind on economy, you can't chase to Mythic Age. If you can't get to Mythic Age, things are really painful. But super well played there by Squash. We'll see if they want to keep playing. Hopefully I'll get the scene change correct this time. All right.